So thank you, Dara and Amrit Irani, for being with us today.
To be there with you.
So Dara Irani is the nephew of beloved Baba, and he's the son of Adi Jr. and Gulu Irani. Amrit is the daughter of Shatrughan and Subhadra Kumar. They both grew up in Baba's fold, in Baba's love, and have always tried to live a life according to Baba's wish. They live in Mehrabad and have been doing a lot of volunteer work in Baba's love and cause. We see them at the Samadhi every day when we go there, and thankful for all that they do for us youngsters to come closer and closer to Baba in his love. So I give the floor to Amrit and Dara, and through the sharing, I will just keep maybe sharing the screen every now and then with some loving photographs of their parents and of their marriage and so on, of the presentation that is prepared. They may not coincide with the stories that they are sharing, but it will just be for our soothing of our eyes and heart to see the pictures with Baba. Thank you so much for being there. Please begin, Amrit and
Hi, Jeb.
Dara.
Can you hear us? Hello.
Are we unmuted? Can you
Yes,
hear?
yes, very clear.
Okay.
Actually, may I just, um, first of all, thank you for giving us this opportunity to be part of this network of yours, Roshi. And just quickly want to say the lady who did the Baba rap, Tina, was her name Tina? It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it. And I know Baba would have also. And a quick hello to Michelle and Ray, old-time friends of ours. Anyway, I thought since I'm the senior, I'll begin. Age before beauty, as they say. Are you there, Roshni? Yeah, okay. So you mentioned my father was Baba's younger brother, Adi, and my mother, whose name was Gulu, short for Gulnar. Let me just tell a little about her. I personally never saw her because she died while giving birth to me. I was born in December 1944. Um, not much significance to my birth, but the significance, the reason I'm narrating this story is that when Baba heard that my mother was seriously ill, my father came to inform him. Baba was here at Mehrabad at the time. And to my mother's very good fortune, Baba agreed to come to her bedside. The house, I was actually born in the house of Vilu and Saroj. Vilu was my mother's elder sister, my aunt, technically, but from the time I was born, she became my mother because, as I was saying, my mother passed away while giving birth to me. I was the only child. My father and mother were married just for about 11 months, I guess, just enough for me to take birth. And so, going back to my mother's good fortune, my mother was on her deathbed. She had gone into a coma. Her eyes were open, and Baba came to her bedside. And he physically closed her eyes and then turns to my father and said, "She's with me now, don't worry." So that was my mother's very good fortune that Baba was there when she passed away. So as I said, Vilu and Saroj just adopted me into their family. They had 3 kids of their own. The youngest, Franny, was born just 2 months before I was in October. So the first 13 years of my life that I spent in that family, they were my siblings and still remain. My father, when I was about 3 or 4 years old, remarried. So I had a stepmother, Franny, also Franny, who sadly passed away about a year ago. And
Today.
yes, today, yeah, okay. And when, well, it was in 56. So what? Well, anyway, in 1956, my father and Franny, my stepmother, moved to England. And while they were there, they had Shireen, my sister Shireen, who is 13 years younger to me. So, as I said, the first 13 years of my life, Vilo and Sarosh were my parents, until I also then moved to England in 1958. And I was there till 73. So for those 15 years I was in England, I was, of course, away from here, Mehrabad, Mirzad, and of course, Baba. The first opportunity I had to come and visit Baba was in December of 64. We came as a family, my father, my stepmother Franny, my sister Shireen. We came to spend time with Baba. The main reason to come at that time was that Shireen had turned 7 and it was time for her to have her Nawjot ceremony. And of course, my father wanted Baba's blessings for that. So Baba agreed and invited us to be here. So we came and we stayed for 3 months till March of 65. And during those 3 months, of course, the Nawjot ceremony took place. But Baba would invite us to visit with him at Mirzad, spend the day out there. And for me, for all those years, Baba was more an uncle to me than the Avtar. There were money, of course, the sister Mani was my aunt. The other women Mani were also related to us. So it was like a family visit every day that Baba would call us there. Well, I would be in Mandi Hall with the rest of the men Mandi when Baba would come there, along with my father. As I keep saying, most of the time I was just a spectator. I had very little to say. I wasn't one for talking. I was very shy. But from time to time, Baba was turn his attention to me and tell me something.
The photographs.
Yeah. So on
Our younger days there on the.
So on one of those occasions, Baba turns to me and says, Dara, don't worry. I have already chosen the right girl to be your wife. I was 20 at the time. By this time, back in England, I had finished my education. I didn't get very far with that. And I was working in an engineering factory as a sheet metal worker. I took leave from work to come. So, of course, Baba told me what I just said. And then the rest of the time I was there, there was no further mention of who this person might be. Sadly, I had to return back to my life in England. I was longing to come back to India. I missed India very much. But Baba told me, no, this is not the time. You go back to your life in England. So I went back. I rejoined work. And 3 years go by, nothing. Till finally, I think it was about September of 67, Baba sends me a cable asking me if I'm now ready to get married. So of course I sent a cable back. In those days, that was the cheapest and quickest way of communicating. I sent a cable back to say, Baba, yes, anytime you want me to. So I get another cable back from Baba saying, I'm happy with your reply. And the next thing I know is that Baba calls my father to visit him at Mirzad from London. And again, this is in December now of 67. And the reason for that was, of course, to talk about the marriage or the plans for the marriage. But before coming, the one thing that Baba told my father to do was to get some large size photographs of me and bring them along, which of course I found out was what they sent to Amrit to see, who she's getting married to. So I think now this is where Amrit should tell her side of the story. Roshni, yeah.
Okay, Jai Baba, everyone. I see our younger days photographs.
We were young, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So, my parents, Shatrughan Kumar, you had heard his story. He was in British time, revolutionary, and he was in prison. He came out through calling out for God. And there's another story. That was Kumar here holding Baba's umbrella near Godavari Mai from Upasni Maharaj's ashram. Anyway, so yeah, and so he met Baba in New Lifetime first time when Baba was visiting in 49, Dehradun. My father first time met Baba, and how he met Baba, he was helping out some Baba lovers without knowing about Baba to buy this land and build a little quarters for Baba. And and he became very friendly with them. So the time came when Baba was coming to Dehradun, and somebody said to Kumar, you've been helping us throughout so many months and all that for this person. He's coming to Dehradun, only in railway station for a short while. Would you like to meet him? And my father said yes, because my father saw how all these people whom he was helping, how they always talked about Baba. Whenever they talked about Baba, it was so different. It wasn't like talking about another human being. It was with so much love, respect, devotion, and all that. So my father said, yes, I would love to see who this person is. So he goes to railway station. And when he reaches there, as he never met Baba, he didn't meet many of those people who were traveling, none of those people who were traveling with Baba. So he just stood quite in distance and looked at this person wearing white robes, like long sadra, and looking just beautiful. So my father said, who's he? And he said, a thought came in my mind, whoever he is, I would love to serve him the rest of my life, just like that. For, as I said, without really knowing who he does, the way that Baba looked, his beauty and everything. So, and Baba, being Baba, he gave my father a chance immediately to serve him. Baba all of a sudden looked at his group and said, anybody arrange for any food? And in excitement to meet Baba, and traveling and all that, none of them had thought about arranging for food. So Baba said, what will happen? We've been traveling and we're still going to travel from station. They were going further, not stopping there, and they had a very short time. So my father was standing in distance, raises his hand like a schoolboy and says, yes, Baba, I'll bring the food. Baba said, but who? Then Baba asked somebody, who's he? So somebody said, Baba, he's Kumar. He's the one who's been helping us to build this little ashram, little cottage for you when will be coming back to Dehradun. And so Baba said, oh, okay, but you stay far, because Baba knew everything. Baba was told how far the cottage will be built and all that. So my father said, yes, Baba, but I'll bring the food before 1 hour. So Baba said, okay. So my father goes home, he tells his wife. None of them knew about Meher Baba and Manager except for, Meher Baba. Who's he? And so he asked my mother, what can she cook, which can be sort of, I should take that and reach railway station on time. So my father said, as they were farmers, they said, we have lots of rice and vegetables and spices and all this. So let's make a vegetable palau. And that cooks very fast. And even it cooks while you're traveling, it will, because it was like almost 15-20 minutes travel to go back to station. So this way, Baba gave him chance to serve him immediately. Now, slowly, my father, as I said, wanted to serve him, start spending more and more time with his followers. Whenever he had chance, he would visit Meher Baba. And Baba then asked, Baba liked the food that day very much. And this long story, what had happened. But anyway, going ahead, Baba asked him, do you mind if you bring food for the family, for monthly, regular basis? And my father said, sure, Baba, one thing we have is enough food at home and we can do that. So that's how slowly, Baba, my father was coming closer and closer to Baba. And so that's, as I said, it was new lifetime. And when Baba first came to our house, my mother was expecting me that time. And then Baba would come for a few days, and then he will travel, go to mountains and go to the Masuri Hills and other hills even higher, and then come back again. And now it was, I was born in November, and now it's March when Baba is back again there in our village. And that time it was in Haridwar. Haridwar is the place where the Ganges from mountains comes down and goes via Haridwar. Roshni, how much time do we have? You never told us. Hi, Roshni.
We have an hour as
Okay.
Amrit, so 8:30 to 9:30 is our time.
Okay.
So till 9:15 we can speak, and then we will leave the last 15 minutes for any question answers, any interesting things somebody wants to ask you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba. So, I was around 3 months old when Baba asked my father, my father was traveling with him now, short travels here and there. So Baba said, you can bring your wife along to this time, going to Dehradun to Haridwar. And my father said, Baba, my wife got a young baby and not how it will be possible. Baba said, doesn't matter, bring the baby along. So I like to show off in this time that I travel in new life with Baba and his Mandli from Dehradun to Haridwar. And recently Naushaman was talking and he said he's the last relic left from that time. No, I am there too. And anyway, so Mehra got very concerned. Mehra said, Baba, you asked Subhadra, which is my mother, and baby to travel with us and stay in same bungalow with us. Baby will cry and disturb you. And Baba said, no, it's okay. So that's how I got chance to be there with Baba and his Mandli. Time passed on. Father started spending more and more time with Baba. As you see in photograph, he's like Baba's umbrella man quite often, going to Hyderabad and going to Satara and here and there with Baba. And then he would spend lots of time sometime with Baba, come back home with lots of gifts from Mani Auntie, from Mehra and all of them. And so we were in touch with Baba this way through my father bringing things, or once in a while, whenever father corresponded with Baba or his Mandli, somehow Baba would ask, how's family, how's children, how this one, how that, and how's little Amrit. So my name used to come quite often, and I used to be very proud in telling my other brother and say, see, Baba remembers me more, rather me remembering him. And so now I am almost 17, when one day I received a letter. Up till now, as I said earlier, correspondence was with only father and messages used to come for children. But this time, first time in life, I got a letter directly from Baba. Of course, Baba wasn't writing anymore, so it was Erich's handwriting. And this letter, so I came from school, I'm in my like 11th year of school or whatever, I can't come home. And my father gives me this huge, big size envelope, brown envelope, like big size. And he said, "This for you from Mir Baba, from Baba." And I was kind of surprised for me. And he said, "Yeah, read it." And so our house was like double story. So I run upstairs and already start shaking that I got a letter from Baba, you know, what it could be, you know, without, and you know how it is, you go blank in those times. So I can't tell you much about that time. Anyway, I opened the letter and these photos fell out, which Dara was saying that Baba had asked Dara to send some photos. Those photos were inside. And there was a long letter, I think maybe 2 pages, but I remember one big page. And on top of that letter said, so even though Erich was writing this letter, it was from Baba. So Baba said, "Read this letter carefully. Do not take as my order. I'm just asking you, would you marry my nephew, Dara Irani, Dara, who lives," and then everything about Dara, his education, his mother passing away, his childbirth, and his moving to England with his father and stepmother, and studying there, and whatever, a whole everything. If girl is interested in boy, she would like to know. It was one of those type of letter. Yes, and Baba did mention that Dara's eyes are very weak, and very soon the problem Dara has, which called, that's Dara's stepmother standing behind Baba. Excuse me. About his eyes, the problem he has called retinitis pigmentosa. Usually people go blind in this disease. Baba did write that clearly. And then he said, after reading this letter, share it with your family, and your family has to agree about it too. So I read the letter, and I don't know if I reread it. I saw these photographs which fell out of the envelope and fell on the ground, and I saw this handsome looking guy. He was dressed up like a Beatles. You can see there too, right? Where I'm kissing Baba, he's standing next to me. They're very good looking. Yeah. And no, you are. And
I'm blushing. Come on, get on with it.
And so anyway, I don't know. I just didn't even care about anything, and I came down, gave letter to put everything in the envelope and gave to my father. And I had a bicycle. So I took that. And as Dara said, those days, communication was mainly with telegrams, don't know if it quickly, otherwise letters. So I go to straight, my God, I'm so young. They're showing the photograph of us. Yeah. And that's Shirin, Dara's sister. So I go to telegram office and send the telegram without talking to my father, mother, anybody, sisters, elder sisters, and all that. And excuse me, send the telegram to Baba saying, "Yes, Baba, I would marry your nephew." That's only that much I wrote in that telegram, and came back home. When I came back home, father, mother, they're all sitting, everybody, sisters, and I don't know, all of a sudden there was, aunts and this and that and other. And my father said, "Where did you go?" I said, "I went to post office to send the telegram to Baba saying yes." But he said he didn't even talk to us. "What did you say?" My father got very excited. I might have said it because I was only 17 when I got married when I was 18, but when Baba had asked me. And mother got, everybody was, especially father, he said, "What did you say in the telegram?" Thinking I must have said it no or something. So I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yes, Baba, I would marry your nephew." So my father just beamed and gave me a big embrace and all that. But then I noticed my mother and mother's sister, they're both sitting on the other side of the room. And mother got full of tears. "But he's a foreigner. He's Irani. He's not our community. He lives in England and he's going to go blind." And, but my father said, but she said yes to Baba, and Baba's asking her. And but she said Baba didn't order her. Baba just asked her. She can say no, and all, she could say no and all that. Anyway, but my father must have talked to her. Everything went off all right. Immediately, in a couple of days' time, I received a telegram from Baba. I'm really happy with you, with your answer, and with your father. Come immediately. He gave us another 2 days to get ready, to have, for traveling to Mehrazad. Baba was in Mehrazad that time. That's a 68. Sorry, it's already 69, and early 69, mid 69. And no, 68, 669, Baba, sorry, Baba dropped his body in January. So 68, right? I'm getting old. Okay, so, yeah. So I got the telegram that come immediately with your father. So we got, we left for, and I remember while I was traveling, it was, of course, train and used to take long time. Like 2-3 days, you had to go via Bombay, then come Pune, and then come. Now you can come directly from Delhi to Ahmednagar. And so while traveling, I wasn't, all of a sudden I was quiet and I stopped eating and all that. So my father got really worried, thinking that I might be,
having
second thoughts or something. So he asked me, what's happening? Why are you not eating? Why are you so quiet? I was never quiet in my life, by the way. So, so I said, no. Then I explained to him, and I felt what I was feeling. I was feeling, up till now, we love Baba because parents told us, like in any religious home or any religion, if you're born, if you're Parsi, you become Parsi. If you're Christian, you become Christian. We were Hindus, so we became, But we had Baba from my childhood. I had Baba, so we loved Baba, but not really wanted, cared much that who Baba is. And we were told he's God, so he's God, that's it. But all of a sudden in the train, how is possible that Meher Baba is God, and how is possible that I'm so fortunate to see God? And that thought stuck all of a sudden. And that whole traveling, I was just thinking about it, and I was getting more and more, like worrying about that, how it will be when I'll meet him, how it will, what I'll say to him. And then when the time came, when I reached Mehrazad, which took a couple of days, and when I reached Mehrazad, I was taken to his room from, most of you have been to Mehrazad, from veranda, not from the door where, you go inside Baba's room to take darshan. I was taken to Mehra's veranda, from veranda to the sitting room. From sitting room, there's another door where his bed is, and that side. And when I was taken inside the Baba's room, Baba was sitting on the bed with his feet where you bow down. His feet were on that cushion there, but I didn't see all that. What I saw from the door, from the right side hand door, that a person is sitting on the bed with something white, wearing little ponytail, little pigtail been tied up with a little string, and hunched, completely hunched down like that. And so I just stood there. I couldn't go inside. I was looking for God, and I was thinking about God, and I was going to see God, but there's no God. There's sitting this old man who looked a little sick. And so I just stood there, and believe me, I wanted to turn around because I didn't see anything. I just saw a sick old man sitting there. That moment I saw Baba's hand go up like that and asked me to move and come, and he did like that. So I did. I came and stood in front of Baba. And again, I'm looking at Baba. Baba is still like that, and, face very old, and think this sadra and little pot belly, and his feet down. And I stood there and I started crying. Just crying means I didn't start crying. The tears was pouring out, just coming down. And I was feeling warm. I didn't feel well, and I wanted to leave the room. I didn't see any God. I just saw the sick old man, still sick old man sitting there. And I don't know how long it went on like that. And before I could run away, Baba raised his hands like that. When you want to embrace somebody, you just, Baba did like that. Believe me, guys, I have no idea when I went for that embrace. Till today, I try to think, did I run? Did I walk? But I was just only like 3-4 feet away from in front of him. And I found myself embracing him and still weeping. How I remember weeping, because I was on his left shoulder and his sadra, that malmal material, with my tears became all wet, and I could see his skin there, very pink, and it was shimmery because I had tears in my eyes. So everything was very this light there like that. And it couldn't have been that long for me, but to me, it seems like Baba was holding me for a long time. And then I felt like with his force, with the two hands, he pushed me in front of him. And when he pushed me in front of him, there wasn't an old man. My Baba was there. He was so beautiful. He was so strong. The embrace was so strong. That push he gave, and held me, still holding my shoulders and looking at my face with a frown. And till to date, when I see that scene, it never goes out. Hope it never goes out. And I see like Baba is telling, you people don't, I have to prove myself every time to you. It really felt like that, because there was frowning, looking at me like, what? You didn't know that I am the one, the God? And but that moment when he's looking at me and with a frown on his head, and all of a sudden, everything felt so good. I was in front of my beloved Baba. And for some short while, Baba asked, how was it traveling and all that? Then he said, you must be hungry and traveling you must be tired. Have something to eat and rest. And tomorrow morning, come to the, I forgot to tell you, I was asked to come with my father to talk about the wedding. Excuse me. Dara was in England, so
I was out of the picture.
he was, just photographs are there, not the picture. And so he said, come tomorrow morning to the dining room, and after breakfast, we'll go to Mandi Hall, and they will be meeting around 10 o'clock. So next morning, I had no idea when I left, did I eat anything or not? Not because of now so many years, I didn't, even that day, I don't remember, but what I remember, when I woke up in the morning, all of a sudden I saw nobody's around, and I was staying that cottage when Nehru and Arnavaz was still in Bombay, and Naja was there, so I was sharing room with Naja. So I was very close to Baba's room, or Baba's back door, where you guys go inside, and then just there. And when I got up, I didn't see anybody. It was all quiet and all that, but I knew the dining room, as you must have seen it previous evening. So I went running to there, and there what I saw, another beautiful, beautiful scene, which I would love to share with you all. Baba was sitting on the head of the table. You've seen Baba's dining table and you've seen his chair. He's sitting there. And as soon as I came, Baba immediately with a smile said, you slept well? Yes, Baba, come sit, have breakfast. And I was already late. Everybody was already there. And the scene was, Baba looked like a baby. Mehra, who was standing behind him, his left side, wiping his forehead because he must have washed, and she was drying with a soft cloth. And it was scene of mother and child. Really, it was like a seeing Mother Mary and Jesus Christ as a baby. So it was mother and child standing, and Mehra is looking now and then down and telling Baba, eat, Baba, eat. You haven't eaten anything, because Baba had this little bowl in front of him, which had little, very watery, like a porridge, and Baba was having there, and then now and then he will look up at Mehra's face, just like baby, and he'll put his hand on his stomach and say, I'm full, I can't eat. But darling Baba, little more, and just like mother and child. And what she had done, she had put this beautiful malmal bib on Baba's neck. So just, like complete baby was sitting there, and mother is coaxing the child to eat. And so and every time Mehra would say, Baba, please have one more spoon, Baba will have another spoon. He will eat a spoon, and then he'll look up, said, okay. And Mehra will say, Baba, a little more. And it was going on. Anyway, then Baba said, in the end, I'm full. I'm tired and I want to go to my room. So I think Mani and Mehera, Baba was, quite old and not well. So they kind of both helped Baba. And Baba left the room for his bedroom. We stayed, and then Mani and Mehera came back after some time. And that Baba's leftover porridge, Mehera distributed us all one spoonful each to our plates. So that was my beautiful morning with Baba. And after some time, I saw Baba's 4 guys came. There were Francis Barbizon and Eric and 2 workers. There's Baba's that chair, which you've seen in film. Baba been carried from his room to Mandli Hall. And when I reached to Mandli Hall, for my surprise, there were quite many visitors were there. Visitors means most of his Mandli, not the ladies, except for Dr. Goher and Mani. Mani used to do like a secretary's job too. And Dr. Goher was there. And then there were the chairs were put, and Vilu, the lady Dara's Masi, Dara's aunt, who had raised him till the age of 13, she was there with her husband because she was invited for the part of the wedding too, to arrangements for the wedding. And there was overnight Arnavaz and Nariman Master come too, so they were there. Meherji Karkaria from Pune, this one, that one, Adi Senior, the whole, and some of them were sitting on the ground. It wasn't decorated like that. There was no carpets, no nothing. There were only shabat, rough stones, and that handmade chatais, very rough ones, were put on near the wall side. So I went there and I sat down in the corner and Baba started this talk about the wedding. How many guests will come? My father was there. To Kumar, how many you from your family would come? First, he decides the date. He said on Mehera's birthday on 22nd December, Dara and Amrit, after Mehera's birthday, they will get engaged. And on 23rd December, they will get married. And then he's asked everybody how many guests and all. Then he asked Bilu and Sharosh. Bilu and Sharosh used to provide food most of the time for any gathering, whenever Baba had big gatherings and all that. And the food was required, so they were. So Vilu and Sharosh were asked. So now Dara will tell you this story. It's a very funny story. Yeah, no, plenty of time. Come on, quickly. Dara's time is over. I can see the watch. It's
Yes.
now.
I think we're running out of time.
No.
But this
Okay.
is yeah.
So, okay, some other time we'll tell you the story about the funny story about food. So now your part.
Well, as I say, all this is happening, and I'm in England. I have no
You've
idea.
gone away there.
I'm sorry. I have no idea what's taking place here. Till my father comes back and tells me that the arrangement date for the wedding, Baba had fixed for 23rd, as Amrit said, the engagement on the 22nd. So, and we as a family should arrive in India a day or two prior to that. Because of my sister being in school, we had to wait till school's Christmas holidays, school was out. So I arrived at here in Nagar at Vilu's just 2 days before, I think, 20th of December. The very next day, Baba called us to be with him at Merazad. And I was supposed to meet Amrit on that day for the first time.
I was staying in Merazad. We were called 10 days before the wedding, so we were in Merazad.
Yeah, she was already there. But on arrival, Amrit had fallen ill. So she was quite sick, and confined to bed, so to speak. So I was told that, it would be a good time to meet her. So the next opportunity, of course, was the next day on our engagement. That's when we first
Yeah.
set our eyes on each other.
So Dara, as he said, he was staying at Vilu's and I was staying in Mirazad. So on 22nd morning, Gohar comes early morning and says, come. And I had a fever that day. It's still, even next day I had some temperature too. But of course, the date was fixed. So come. And I was taken to Mehran Mani's room where Mehran Mani gave me that, not light pink sari. There are two scenes where I'm wearing darker pink for engagement. And I was given, first time I saw that sari. And Mehran Mani and Baba's niece from Pune, Rustam Saurabh's sister Gulnar, she was there too. And three of them helped me. They put sari on me, gave me some jewelry, gave me some stuff to put on my face and all that, and asked me to, can I tie? I had a long hair, to tie my hair up. And so I got dressed in Mehran Mani's room, and then I was taken to Baba's room. Baba was still in his own room. And so when I went to front of Baba, again, the tears was very regular. I mean, they became companions all the time those days because with Baba now. And yeah, this is the engagement today. So I come to Baba's room and I was tears. Baba said, wow, what happened, So I said, Baba, I'm not feeling well, but you look very nice, how pretty. Look at, you look really nice and very nice. Everything will be all right. And I'm still Baba, but I'm not feeling well. No, you'll be perfectly all right. And then after some time talk, and I was asked to go in the Mehra's porch. And when I came to Mehra's porch, first time I saw Dara in my life, he was standing there with a couple of other people, with his sister Shireen. And so I went there. We didn't even say hello to each other. I went and stood next to, because I was asked to stand there. So I stood next to him. And we couldn't even look at each other because all of a sudden we saw there were around 200 guests were sitting in Mehra's garden there. The chairs was poured and all that. And except for 6, 7, my family, I knew 6, 7, Dara's family, Dara knew, everybody was stranger. In front of stranger, how to say hi to each other, even, and plus not well and all that. So we just stood there looking at each other. And then Baba's chair was brought there, Baba's sofa, which had wheels on it, it was brought there. As you can see, Baba's sitting there on that. And so first we all sang happy birthday to Mehra, and then cake was brought to Baba, Mehra's birthday cake, which Baba touched it, or I don't know if he cut it or something, was sent. And then Erich introduced us, Dara, Baba's nephew, Ari's junior son, and Amrit Kumar and Subhadra's daughter. And with Baba's wish, they're here together and they get engaged. So Baba held, I don't even remember when they took our measurements for our rings and all that. And Baba was holding these 2 rings in his hand. And so we both went forward and we picked up the rings from Baba's hands and we put on each other and we were engaged. And after the engagement, I was asked to sit down for a short while. And as I wasn't feeling well, Baba said, you go now, you go rest. And Baba went to his room too, because there was a birthday party and there were, all these couple of hundred people. And of course, they were singing songs. You've seen Rustam Saurabh singing, and some other people singing and all that. But I was sent to my room to relax. So when I was in my room, I changed and I was lying down. All of a sudden, the door opens and Arna was holding Dara's hand, because we were engaged and we didn't even say hello to each other yet. So Arnavas brings Dara to my room. So I was lying down and I sat down. And she said, okay, you guys, now you're already engaged, talk to each other. And she left Dara there. As Dara said, he was shy and person of less few words. He just, sat there, and I couldn't say anything. What to say? What would you guys say in a situation like that? So we just, So Dara, as he was living in England for many years, and he had become Pakka British gentleman. So he just looks out, and what they talk about, he talked about. He said, "Oh, nice weather out there," and like
The English always talked about the weather
that's only how they start
to
the
break the ice.
yeah. So I said, maybe, whatever. I don't even remember what I said. And then he sat for a little while, waiting for me to say something. I couldn't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that time? No, I can see the watch is shifted. So, so Dara left. Dara left me, and immediately after a few minutes later, Arnavas brought him back again. And this time she sat down there, and we had three-way conversation. Okay. So now we start talking, and we became kind of friends. We said hi, and yeah, at least, and then about our education, work, home, whatever. Next day was the wedding, and same thing, was getting ready in Mehra Mani's room. I was given these beautiful clothes to wear. And then I always tell people, my bridesmaids were Mehra and Mani and Gulnar. And when I came to front of Baba, again, Erich announced everything, about Dar and myself. Again, Baba, here, there's a lighter color pink sari. There's a story about these pinks, but I can tell some other time. So again, Baba was holding our rings, and we picked up the rings, wedding bands, and I can show you. It's a very small, fine little. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that little this way. Maybe you can see. Yeah. So just a little. Anyway, so this is the ring Baba was holding, which Dara put it on me, and I put the ring on Dara, and then we garlanded Baba. Then Baba's garland each other. But as we didn't arrange this marriage, or we didn't even know what will happen and things. So we didn't arrange any garlands for each other or anything. So what had happened, people who came or invited, quite many of those people were bringing garlands for Baba. So Baba wasn't wearing those garlands, he was touching. Even the one we gave to Baba, Baba held this and put it next to his feet. So by now, there was a pile of garlands at his feet, and Baba looked at us and said, "Oh, you don't have garlands? Pick up 2 garlands from my feet." So we picked up 2 garlands from Baba's, near his feet, and we garlanded each other, and we were announced husband and wife. Of course, we had to register a wedding too, for the passport, traveling with him and all that. And how much time we have, Roshni?
We can, unless we have any questions, we can go on for another 5-7 minutes.
Okay.
If anybody has questions, please raise hand.
No question. Let me finish the story. It's better you hear
Okay,
about.
then you continue the story. No problem.
Yeah, because they still, so what happened? Because I wasn't well, after the wedding, Dara was sent back to Vilu Villa, and I was kept in Mehrazad. Look at that Baba, he wasn't like in India, and when you marry, you're supposed to go with your husband. But Baba, knowing that we don't know each other, we're not even spend any time, and plus I'm not well, so Baba kept me in Mehrazad. And Dara would supposed to come every day from Vilu's in the morning, spend a day with me and Baba and Mandli. And lots of things used to happen in those days. That time, it was for several days, it happened like that. And then he would give us his car and driver and say, go for drive, go here, go there. We were sent to Pune once, Aurangabad with a family once. So this way
Our courtship started
after marriage.
With Baba. But yeah, the one thing worth mentioning during those times that Baba would invite us to be with him in his room was when those roses.
Yeah, tell.
You tell.
They will say I talk too much. Okay, because I talk quickly, fast. So one day we were with Baba, and Baba looked at the ladies' Mandli side, and he said, "Bring something." And whenever he used to do like that, we were getting gifts every day from Mandli, from Baba and everything. So I said, must be another gift coming. But this day, Baba, this box was open and something was given to Baba in tissue paper, in tissues, one pink and white tissues like that wrap. And then Baba called Dar and myself, and we saw there was 2 little roses in his hand. these two roses, he explained, I think Mani Auntie was talking as Baba was doing the signs, that these roses are from your wedding cake. And these are icing cake, roses. And then he touches one and he said, this is one you have for your 25th wedding anniversary. And another pink one have your 50th anniversary. So he gave us that day 2 cakes, which we had 25th anniversary. And 2 years ago, now we married for 52 years. 2 years ago, December, somehow Baba protected those roses and they were still delicious, tasty. There's photographs are there. I think did I send you the photograph? No. Anyway, yeah, and I quickly will show you while I'm doing this, talking about, so that's, maybe I'll send it to you later on sometime. And and then one of those days, he said, I'll bless you with 2 sons. And he said, call your first son, he spelled it out, Nirwan. And later on, so we hardly knew each other. We were already blessed with 2 kids. And Mira Mani and all gave Jamshed name after Baba's brother later on. And 10th of January, we moved to England. And 21 days later, what we hear, Baba has dropped his body. And I really felt I was cheated because he's supposed to be there. He's the one who did all this. And now he's sent me away and, with whom I'm going to communicate and all that. Anyway, Baba gave us this chance to be here, even in this time of virus and all that. We get chance to clean his samadhi. I'm looking that way because samadhi is that way. And here we are. Yes. Thank you.
So, warm greetings from Mehrabad.
To everyone
there.
Lots and lots of love.
And thank
lots
you
of love.
for
Michele, seeing you is so nice, darling. So many years now. Keep well. Jai Baba. Jai Baba to everyone.
Michelle.
Michelle. From Israel?
No, she's there.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
there.
sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And Christine is there. And
right.
earlier Michelle was there.
Actually, yes.
Of course, Roshni is there. Yeah.
So
Okay,
thank
Jai
you,
Baba.
Roshni. Thank you, everyone.
Is that fine?
Thank you to both of you. Thank you so much. And it's such bliss to just listen to these stories from each one of you of Baba's love. Thank you so much for taking us closer to him. Every event over here, with all the sharing on our Circle of Friends events, is just more blissful than the other. And thank you to Baba for the technology to bring us close. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And we will stay with us, Dara and Amrit. We will conclude with our Dhun and the Australian Aarti. So
Perfect.
please be with us for the same.
Should I
And
switch off?
before,
Yeah.
sure, sorry.
You want me to switch off the
Yeah,
video?
No, please leave it on. Please be there, and I'll share the video of our Dhun and Aarti. Tonight we have the jammers after this, so please hang on to jam with Siddharth and gang after the
Oh,
satsang.
Yeah.
Everyone. And a little announcement for Amar Tithi. Mehrnath ji had sent a small circular message that 10th December is the deadline to send in any videos or sharing that you would like to do in Baba's love for the virtual Amar Tithi that is there this year. So we were just asked to announce it to everyone at the satsang.
Baba, Meher 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 Baba.
अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय।
O glorious, eternal, ancient one, your face is a bright, transcendental sun. Lighten this dark world and the tears I weep. My heart, Meher, I give to you to keep. Creator, yet creationless you are. Truth and truth's body, divine avatar. Through compassion, the three worlds maintain. Destroy this ignorance that life sustains. These five lights are the whirling strokes of breath of the world's wheel that bears me unto death. Unless you are infinitely kind, break the wheel of which is conditioned mind. This incense is my love, these fruits my art, which to please you I have shaped from my heart. Accept them as you would a simple flower that has no use beyond its shining hour. You are myself, I sing to you in praise, and beg your love to bear me through the day, till you the ever-living perfect one. Illume my darkness with your shining sun.
Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai. We'll have 1 minute of silence. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय। We can all unmute and 3 times. Avatar Meher Baba
बाबा की
Jai.
जय।
Avatar Meher
मेहर
Baba
बाबा
की
की जय।
जय।
मेहर बाबा की जय।